Hey guys, Tyler here. In my last Mass Effect Alien Species video about the Asari, I asked you which species you wanted to see me cover next. One suggestion I saw pop up quite a bit is the Drell. First introduced in Mass Effect 2 through the character Thane Krios, the Drell are a vaguely reptilian race who originally evolved on the planet Rakana before they were rescued by the Hanar and transported to their homeworld, Kaji. The Drell have a very distinct biology, history, and culture, something that can be said about many of the other major species in Mass Effect. Today I'm going to explore these different facets and compare them to what we know about biology here on Earth, and what we expect to be true among the stars. Let's get started. First things first, let's discuss the Drell's anatomy and physiology. We know they're omnivorous humanoids with an average lifespan of 85 years, but besides their superficial resemblance to humans and Asari as far as their body plan, what's lurking beneath their exterior? Well, for starters, their skin is apparently infused with a mild venom that can cause hallucinations upon oral contact. They also possess two sets of eyelids akin to the so-called nictitating membrane present in many Earth reptiles. The inner eyelid is semi-translucent and closes from the left and right rather than top and bottom, as is the case with the outer eyelid. The Drell also have tear ducts like humans and Asari do. They also give live birth, unlike most Earth reptiles, although this trait, known as viviparity, is not exclusive to mammals and can be found in some sharks, insects, and snakes. Of course, I couldn't talk about the Drell without mentioning Keprel's syndrome. Keprel's syndrome is the leading cause of death among Drell, and it's caused by cumulative long-term exposure to the humid climate of Kaji. The syndrome, which Mass Effect writer Patrick Weeks has stated is loosely based on cystic fibrosis, erodes the ability of Drell to take in enough oxygen, reducing their lung capacity. Eventually, it spreads to other organs. While Keprel's syndrome and cystic fibrosis are not exactly analogous, a decision made to allow Thane to still function as an active squad mate, those inflicted with either disease are slowly killed by it over a number of years. Keprel's syndrome is non-communicable, and while there is currently no known cure, as of the 2180s, leading Hanar scientific authorities are working on developing a genetic adaptation. Naturally, the Drell's reptilian traits would have been influenced by the conditions of their homeworld, particularly rocky desert biomes. This kind of environment, where resources like vegetation, drinking water, and prey are sparse, would have also encouraged the Drell to evolve an eidetic memory. These memories can be so strong that external stimuli can trigger powerful memory recall, and these recalls are so vivid that some Drell may mistake them for reality. For example, Thane remembers every assassination he has ever performed, and he can describe them in flawless detail. This process can also be involuntary, a stark reminder to the Drell of both their fondest memories and their darkest hours. Around the 1380s CE, the already arid Drell homeworld of Rakana began a swift descent into barrenness as a result of rapid industrial expansion. The Drell at this time lacked interstellar flight capability, and with their population exceeding 11 billion, their species faced certain doom. It was only after the Hanar arrived 500 years later, around the 1980s CE, that the Drell were given a new glimmer of hope. Over the next decade, the Hanar would transport 375,000 Drell to Kaji, while the remaining billions left on Rakana would perish, warring with each other over their diminishing resources. The Drell now thrive alongside the Hanar, and they have been part of galactic civilization for over 2 centuries. Drell culture, as we observe it in the games, is massively influenced by their species' relocation to Kaji. The Drell have a close relationship with the Hanar, a debt of gratitude known as the Compact. The Drell fulfill the Compact by taking on tasks which the Hanar find difficult, such as combat. Because being requested to serve is a great honor, though any Drell may refuse to serve, few turn down the offer. Drell who leave Kaji tend to be adventurers, often seeking out new species and adopting their culture. But the great accommodations offered by the Hanar means that most Drell are content to stay on Kaji. While it may appear to some outsiders that the Drell are second-class citizens, on the contrary, the Drell have integrated themselves as respected, productive citizens into every level of Hanar society. In fact, some Drell, including Thane, have gone so far as to receive implants that enable them to communicate directly with the Hanar. These implants allow Drell to observe the bioluminescence Hanar use for communication. Many such Drell are able to see ultraviolet light as a silvery color, though they may lose differentiation between colors, such as dark red and black, at the opposite end of the spectrum. By the way, seeing colors outside the normal visible range is actually a trait that some humans are capable of, although in extremely limited and niche instances. Some experiments have proven that human retinas are capable of glimpsing infrared light under certain conditions, which is not too crazy given how our eyes can adjust to very dark environments. But so-called tetrachromats, including between 15 and 50% of women and 8% of men, have 4 active cone cells that help them distinguish a higher variety of colors than so-called trichromats. Most Drell are deeply religious, believing that their souls are separate from their bodies. They view death as a departure from the body, and they believe that while alive, the body and soul form a whole. When the body is ill or injured, or when the soul is traumatized or otherwise disrupted, a person is no longer whole. They even believe that the body can be directed as a separate entity from their conscious mind, such as Thane taking no responsibility for his numerous killings ordered by the Hanar. The Drell religion is polytheistic, with Drell praying to different gods in various situations. At least 3 of their gods include Amankira, Lord of Hunters, Arashu, Goddess of Motherhood and Protection, and Kalahira, Goddess of Oceans and Afterlife. All of these traits, the polytheism, the yin and yang-like principle of the whole, the distinction of the soul from the body, mean the Drell religion shares some superficial similarities with Eastern faiths like Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and others. But many of these older traditions, we learn, have begun to die out as Drell society evolves. Younger generations no longer believe in the old ways of their ancestors, and this viewpoint is largely driven by exposure to alternative interpretations of their place in the universe. Consequently, many Drell have adopted Hanar faiths, or the philosophies of the Asari, as opposed to their ancestors' religion. So, the big question that must be answered in every OrangeRiver video: could something like the Drell evolve in real life? That is a religious reptilian humanoid species plausible? Well, perhaps. We don't know much about the star that Rakana orbits, but it's understandable that a hot, humid climate on their home planet would have produced a dominant reptilian predator species. Of course, the scarcity of resources in their environment would also be conducive to the Drell developing an omnivorous diet. As they remained apex predators over millions of years, the Drell would have had time to become more and more crafty to survive, eventually developing opposable thumbs to make tools. They may have evolved bipedalism to give them a height advantage over other animals, and all of this would lead to a runaway cascade effect towards intelligence. Just one possible scenario, of course. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Big thanks to Hannah Manning for suggesting this topic. As always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below and don't forget to share it. That stuff really helps me out. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do that as well so you won't miss future uploads, and click the bell icon to receive all notifications. If you want to support the channel even further, becoming a patron or a member is a great way to do so. Links to those, as well as my social media and merch store, are in the description below. That's all I have for this week. I'll see you next time.